going to go, right? A clever ruler will use that sort of thing, not unlike clever Christian rulers who roused Christian faithful to go on crusades and that sort of thing, right? What's the understanding of jihad? It's primarily a battle to be a better person, commend the good and forbid the evil. Yeah. So even that, think about how, think about that, how that is understood across the Muslim world, but then also think about how our perceptions play into that. Don't be satisfied if you just hear the flip translation in the news. So-and-so declared jihad or holy war. Wait a minute, my friends. It's much more complex and diverse than that, right? Yeah. What else? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can you talk a little bit about not just, I guess, the stereotypes and hatred that Muslims face in America, but also what might be happening religiously to Muslims who come live in America?
Yeah. Okay, so Muslims in America, we can say, and I'll keep this short, right? Our time is almost up. We had an hour. What we can say is this. We are a part of a Judeo-Christian Islamic culture, right? What's the second largest religion in America? Islam is the second largest religion in America. By far a Christian majority, but a significant Muslim majority. There are upwards of 9 or 10 million Muslims in America. What's the fastest growing religion in America? Islam, by quite a bit, actually. Both in terms of growth in African American communities and in immigrant streams and that sort of thing. 9 is moving to 10 fairly quickly, right? Numbers of Jews, say, in America, about 6 million, something like that. So how can we understand this significant religious minority as a part of the American mosaic? I think that I would point to trends across the Muslim world. What are the chances of you meeting a rationalist, modernist Muslim, in some American community who is interested in, Quranic interpretation with, analogy and consensus and the importance of ra'i, which is rationality, God-given intellect, all of this sort of thing. Trying to think of Islam now in a new American setting. What are the chances that Muslim that you meet are going to fall somewhere on that end of the spectrum? Very great. Very great. What are the chances that you're going to meet a more conservative Muslim? There's a decent chance. You will probably find, certainly, in the Muslims that you meet, you will find some who are sympathetic maybe to the Hanbali school, the Islamist literalist school. But we have to make a sharp distinction between, say, that school and some of the sort of militant movements that there are out there and that sort of thing, right? So how can we understand, say, Muslims in America or even, Muslims in wider Roanoke? Well, we would do well to understand the tremendous diversity and the ways that there are multiple ways of being a Muslim in the contemporary world. Hey, you made it. All right. Just for the very end, actually. We had one more question, maybe a quick 2 minutes, and then we're done, right? Yeah.
Yeah. A scary term for many Americans is Sharia law.
Sharia law.
A monolithic, uniform Sharia law.
Right. Okay. You all are now well equipped to deal with this issue. What I've been telling you about is Sharia law. What I've been telling you about are the schools that helped to create various schools of, Islamic legal code and legal thought. Sunni Sharia has 4 primary expressions. So when there is this thought about the so-called infiltration of Sharia in the Western world or in Europe or whatever it may be, right? Wait a minute. Which Sharia do you mean? And, is this a Sharia that you that you understand to be some kind of purist Islamist Sharia or some kind of rationalist progressive Sharia, that's all there. I've laid it out before you tonight, right? Or I think that part of the assumption of those who are fixated on this issue is that somehow Sharia means something more like what maybe the Taliban mean by Sharia, something like that, which is such a minority of a minority of a minority, almost as to disappear in the modern consciousness of the Muslim world. If we want to talk about Sharia, we're now well equipped to talk about it, right? All the way from the traditionalist schools, all the way over to the rationalist schools. So, which Sharia? That's the question. All right, thank you all for coming. I look forward to the ongoing conversations. Please come to the next events, all right? Thank you very much. Great, nice conversation. Thank you. Thank you. All right, really appreciate it.
All right, everybody. So that was day one of the Palestine.